Good morning. Today is chest day, my friends, and as we all know, the gym bro life loves chest day. Now, if you were to ask me what my favorite day is of training, it's actually back day. I love training back. It's my favorite thing to train. But obviously, chest day is a lot of fun. I'm rocking my dark funeral shirt. Definitely not the most Christian band out there, but I love black metal more. When I say I love black metal, more rough and raw sounding black metal. But I don't recommend the message, but I do recommend the sound if you catch my drift. But anyways, today is chest day. And yesterday was breakfast club day, which I forgot to watch the movie. I'll probably watch it tonight, maybe. Or maybe sometime this weekend after all of my weekend responsibilities are taken care of. Which I have a lot, surprisingly. I'm more like, it's not just a 5-day work week, it's a 5-day work week plus, which is fine. I'd rather be busy than not. So, no sense in complaining. I'm feeling actually awake today. I got a great night's sleep last night. So, I don't even think I needed this coffee. It's just comforting at this point. And once I'm done drinking this, gonna go brush my teeth, get my backpack set up, get my skin routine stuff in there, get my soap, shampoo, all that stuff, change of clothes, because today's hard cardio day, so we're gonna be showering at the gym, so that way I'm not sweaty in the car when I'm driving home. And that's gonna be a lot of fun. So, finishing this coffee, gonna make that pre-workout, get to the gym, have a fun pump, and then shower, get ready for work, go to work for 8 hours, come home, and then call it a night, do it all again tomorrow. I'll catch you guys in a minute. And we are now driving to the gym, and we are gonna pass an Arby's. Arby's, the place where my one roommate says has the best fast food burgers he's ever had. Now, like I said, I'm no longer eating fast food anymore, so I can't answer that question for you. So we're just gonna have to take his word for it, even though I do believe him because he is a mildly picky eater. I love you, Mike, don't worry. But I will have to say, I appreciate that there's not a lot of traffic right now. Now, traffic can get backed up pretty badly here, mostly because there's a lot of red lights, but still, it's not like the gym's that far away. It's like 5 minutes, even with a lot of traffic. So we're going to get to the gym, we're going to park in the parking lot, and then we're going to get this day properly started and get that chest flexing. So now I'm in the gym parking lot, going to chug the heck out of this pre-workout, run in there, put my backpack in the locker, do fast-paced 20 minutes on the step mill, mobility, then pump. So, I'm excited for this. Chest day is always a fun day, like I said. Looking forward to getting this day solid and set, doing whatever it takes. Getting that Rich Piana, whatever it takes in the 5%. Rest in peace, Rich. He wasn't a highly influential person. I know his steroid use was controversial, but at least he was honest about it. We do agree with that, even though we'd probably still have him with us today if he wasn't doing that. And it's one of those things where it'd be interesting to, like, because we obviously can't talk with the dead, but because we can't ask him, does he regret it, like, now, obviously, because without that, would he have had the life he did have? Would he say it was all worth it if my life wrapped up earlier rather than later? Because we all wish he was still with us. But similar to like what Ronnie Coleman says, is like the only thing he regrets is not doing one more rep when he had the chance to. But it still sucks because he was a huge inspiration to me when I was getting into fitness. And when I heard he passed away, it was jarring. Similarly to Greg Plitt. Because Greg Plitt is who I'm essentially modeling my physique after. He was my initial inspiration. Him and Aaron Titan from Attack on Titan, by the way, were the two that mainly inspired me to do more of the athletic lean physique as opposed to trying to go for the bulkier body, even though I don't think I'd be able to do that anyway, especially going naturally. But it's a damn shame because Rich Piana, he was just an overall likable dude. Now, of course, we only saw the video of him. We don't know, most of us don't know what he was actually like in person because most of us haven't met him. Some people have said they've interacted with him in person. He said he's a very chill, laid-back guy and he'd wait till after expos to interact with people if they were in line with him. So that's pretty cool if that's all true. And I hope it is because from what he presented, he seemed like a very welcoming and loving guy. And I think he knew the inspiration that he gave to people. And yes, that bag is still back there, even though I've been to church multiple times already. But it's more than just clothes, and it's heavy, and I just kind of go, I don't want to deal with this right now, but it's going to, get there eventually. So it would be fascinating to ask him, does he regret it? Maybe he wouldn't. Maybe he does. Maybe he would love to have lived a much longer life to see himself to his 80s. But maybe he also would have said, no, I lived the fullest life possible. So when it ended when it did, I'm okay with. And I think that's a question we all tend to ask ourselves. Would we rather a shorter life, and in that shorter life is a much fuller experience as opposed to a longer life with not a lot happening? As Thomas Sowell says, no solutions, only trade-offs. But I believe that the trade-off is, like, obviously you want a long life that's also fulfilling. And I think a lot of people do struggle to get that. So I think that should be a new goal for a lot of people. Now, what does that mean? Like, what does a more full and fulfilling life mean? Does it mean you live in a mansion having a bunch of luxuries, or does it mean you work a job you don't hate, but then the time you do have outside of that job is time with your friends and family, and you don't do a lot of like extravagant stuff, but still those small moments you have with them are fulfilling for you? Again, that's going to be different for everybody, similar to how athletics is different for everybody. Everyone has a different athletic goal. Life goals are also different. Like mine is, I want to be a spectacular actor, an actor who's remembered, even just amongst his peers. Like not even like needing to be big time celebrity or anything like that. Not like Timothée Chalamet or Brad Pitt or what have you. Just even like with people who know me said, no, he was the best. Stuff like that. Some people's goals when acting is, no, I want to be Timothée Chalamet, Robert Downey Jr., or even with filmmaking, they want to be Christopher Nolan, or some people even want to say, I want to be the next Lloyd Kaufman, where you have a very dedicated cult following. Stuff like that. So the goals in life are going to be entirely different for everybody. Some people, they just kind of want to work and then just sit back, relax at home, and just rest. And you know what? That's fine. If that makes them happy, they are more than welcome to do that. It's not for me. I would, like, of course, I do love coming home, just sitting down, playing some video games, watching a crappy B movie, or not crappy B movie because I love B movies, or maybe even do some studying with political philosophy, or studying the Bible, acting, things like that. As I said, what makes people happy is going to be different for everybody. As I kind of say, and I probably wasn't even the first one to say this, everybody is different and every body is different. Similarly to how, when it comes to fitness, what works for me in fitness is not going to work for someone else. I mean, it could work for someone else because we all do have, like, some people do have similarities, obviously, but what works for me is not necessarily going to work for the other person. So it's about finding what makes you happy and trying to fulfill that happy need. Now, obviously, life wouldn't be interesting or fascinating or fun if we were always having our happiness fulfilled. Sometimes you need to have those down moments, unfortunately, in order to appreciate when happiness comes to you. Because if you were happy all the time, then you wouldn't truly, odds are you probably wouldn't appreciate what it actually means to be happy. So sometimes heartbreak needs to happen, and that's just a part of life. But it's chest day. Let me drink this. I'll catch you guys in the gym. Peace. Heck yeah, cable flies. As everyone knows, cable flies is one of the most fun chest workouts we can do. Not just that, I feel as though flies in general are some of the most fun chest workouts you can do. And I know there are people out there that say they're unnecessary, you can just bench, but I have fun doing them, so following that up with the incline bench, and they had this interesting bar. I forget which one this one's called, but it was there, and I said, you know what? I never used that bar before. I'm going to use it. So, how did it turn out? Turned out well. I'm going to do this again, definitely more often. Felt it in my upper pecs, felt it in my triceps. It was good. I really recommend this bar if your gym has it. Following that up with some dumbbell incline flies. Yes, as you notice, the incline is going to be a tradition of today. Really want to get that upper chest working, and like I say, flies are just fun. I love doing flies. I love that stretch. I love that upper squeeze. It just feels great, my friends. Gonna keep doing them, and I really do see good results. Like, I'm getting stronger in the flies too, so that's pretty rad. Oh no, Dolby. What happened to your shoes? Well, they are running shoes, so they ran off. Anyway, dumbbell incline bench press. 5x5s. These are slowly getting more and more powerful. And like I said, by the end of the year, I want to be doing the 100-pound dumbbells on both flat and incline. So we got work to do. And lastly, or almost lastly, sorry, there was one more thing after this. Dumbbell overhead stretches. I forget what these are called. But this is a great one to get an almost all-around chest work, even though this hits more of the lower chest for me specifically, and even some delt action, obviously. But this one is coming back, I think. I see more and more people doing it because it is a very good chest workout. Some people think it's, again, similar with flies, unnecessary or kind of useless, but the results speak for themselves when I do it. So if I see the results, I'm going to continue to do them. So it's fun. Last but certainly not least is the dips. Now, bodyweight workouts are some of the best workouts of all time, and I love doing dips. The tricep action, the chest action, and even sometimes the back action. Got to keep doing them because they're awesome. And that was the workout. We are on our way home right now, and stopping off at the apartment for just a little bit so that way I can get on the bounce and get to work. I want to make my protein shake, grab my food, and just get to work my shift, and then get home, and then, do the final video of the night and relax for the evening. And so we're gonna cut to the apartment now. Yes, it's much darker out, and I'm finally home for the night. So today's work, not bad. I had great energy all day, so that was nice. But I did really think about, is it worth living a longer life with less, or more living a shorter life that's more fulfilled? Now, again, having a long life doesn't mean it's not fulfilling, and having a short life doesn't mean that would be fulfilling either. The less is more mentality is not always going to be there. So, just from what I was thinking about, I think we also spend a lot of time of obsessing over how can I feel more fulfilled as opposed to actually doing what it takes to be fulfilled. When you spend more time thinking about things as opposed to kind of just doing what you love, that's where you get lost. That's where time just evaporates. And it's going to be different for everybody, like I said. Maybe for some people, for me, I love learning new skills. That's where I find fulfillment, learning something new, always learning over and over and over again, no matter how difficult it might be, which is part of the reason why I got into acting, because I wanted to learn an acting skill. I mean, I learned how to cook mostly because I wanted to impress this one girl, but outside of that, learning new skills is fun for me. That's where I find fulfillment. And also, obviously, getting platinum trophies on PlayStation games, watching a new movie every now and again, that gives me a little bit of fulfillment. But learning a new skill and then seeing the results of that skill is what brings me joy and happiness. Not so much making a lot of money, not so much having a bunch of luxuries, just knowing that what I'm training for and learning has an accomplishment. That's what brings me fulfillment. And I think, and that's going to be different for everybody. And I hope that more people find that out sooner rather than later of what makes them feel like their life is fulfilled and not just an extended waiting period until, you know. But anyways, I gotta make supper. I'm gonna make a little bit of egg whites with some meat and then maybe add just a sprinkling of no fat cheese on it. And I'm gonna call it a night. Maybe watch something funny on YouTube, maybe play a little bit of Bastion, make sure I get 100% on that because that's my goal right now is to get the Platinum Trophy in Bastion. And then, like I said, cleaning up a bunch of games before I can finally play Rise of the Ronin. Anyways, y'all have a good night. I'll catch y'all later.